What's up, everybody? I'm John. I'm here at MSM, and we are going to actually start a new series this week called In My Opinion. Now, everybody has an opinion. I have an opinion. I love my opinion about everything, right? And we all kind of do that. We all kind of have our opinions about things, and we love it. And we kind of phrase things sometimes like, hey, in my opinion, your pants are ugly. Hey, in my opinion, that's a dumb thing to say. In my opinion, and we use this phrase to kind of like protect us against what we really want to say is, I'm judging you for those, or I'm judging you because, right? And we use this, in my opinion, to actually judge people. And so that's what we're going to be talking about a little bit today here, is we're going to be talking about like gossip and judging people like that, okay? So, first thing we're going to say here, gossip, wrong, right off the bat, all right? We know that and we can feel that in our heart, but what do we mean by gossip? So when somebody says something behind another person's back that you know isn't nice, isn't kind, there's all kinds of things that are happening, and you can feel that in your heart. Like, we might make excuses up, like, oh, I didn't know that you didn't care about that at all. But we know, come on, we really know deep down that that's a mean thing to say. Don't lie, you knew, right? And so we have all this stuff because we want to hear about like this hot goss, right? Spill that tea, girl. And now they say, I don't know, whatever's going on. But we want to share our opinion on stuff because we really like judging things as humans, okay? And so as a middle schooler, or as like even as an adult for myself, you know, our experiences in life with gossip are everywhere. So maybe we gossip a little bit because we're motivated by our insecurities, right? So like, let's say, oh man, I heard that guy over there goes to the gym and his family hates him because he's at the gym all the time. And really what's happening is maybe I'm feeling insecure about Mr. Tumkin right here, and you know, we're not wanting to put that effort in, so we're trying to make them be the bad guy when I know I should stop eating sugar and go to the gym more. Or maybe it's like, hey, I don't know this person very well, so I'm going to say this bad stuff about them because I want us to kind of have that bonding, right? So like, oh man, Chuck smells so bad, tee-hee-hee, and like me and Justin are now best friends because Justin thinks Chuck smells. You know, things like that. Or like, oh man, this is just a fun thing to do. Like, I love hearing about all of the crazy stuff happening in people's lives. Or maybe it's like, I want to be the best at something. So we've all had that friend who says things like, you know, what do we call it? Like the know-it-all, right? So like you go to a party or you're hanging out at your friend's house and they're like, oh yeah, this one's stupid, you really want this one because, oh, look how dumb this guy is because he doesn't have AirPods, what a loser, right? We're really just trying to be the best by saying like, I have this, I'm the best, right? We're competing. Maybe we like gossiping because we think it's true, but we don't have a nice way to say anything, right? Maybe we're just always wanting to say mean things because it's the truth and in our opinion that needs to be said. But we're just not being kind about that. And so when we have this information, all this gossip stuff, and we don't know what to do with, but we actually love that information, we need to think about what are the actual steps, why we do it, and how we stop doing it. So the Bible actually has a lot of really cool things to say about this. So I'm actually going to read them today. I know usually I give you a cool pause screen. If you want a cool pause screen, I'll give you one like this. Whoa. All right, I don't know why you paused it, but you could have. All right, the Bible verses we're going to look at here today is what it says about gossip and kind of talking. The first one is Ephesians 4:29. So it says, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it might benefit those who listen. So when we have these things, it's like, oh man, can you believe so-and-so did such and such? Right? We'd be like, oh, okay, so now that we have that information, if we're going to talk about it, how are we going to fix it? What kind of stuff can we do to bring it to their attention in a kind way to help build them up? Or if it's something that like doesn't have anything to do with that, you got to let it go. You got to be done with that. Because if it's not good for building people up, if it's not good for that, get it out of here, right? The other verse we're going to look at a little bit is in Mark. It's Mark 7, verse 15. Mark 7, verse 15. And so this is actually Jesus talking here, and it's talking about where this comes from, right? So he says, nothing outside a person can defile them by going into them. Rather, it's what comes out of a person that defiles them. So what Jesus is talking about here is he's talking about like this gossip, this bad stuff that we do, right? It's not because of all these outside influences. It's in our heart that's actually corrupt and broken, and we need to work towards God and towards Jesus to fix that. And we can stop gossiping and start trying to help other people in those moments. So what do we do about this, right? The Bible says don't do it. The Bible says inside our hearts is that like wickedness that we want to like fight against, right? So when you have something like this happen to you, and it happens all the time, we see it all the time on social media, all the time in real life, even subtle ways around your life, you have to make a choice. What am I going to do? Am I going to gossip? Am I going to be mean and nasty over here and like say things that are going to be hurtful or not productive in any way, shape, or form? Or am I going to be kind, and if I do have that information that's been given out, am I going to use that to try to help this other person correct their behavior if that's what it needs? Or how am I going to take it to just build them and lift them up and help them grow closer towards Jesus like we should be doing as well? All right, so when you think about that, we shouldn't gossip. Why? Because we wouldn't want somebody talking about us behind our back without trying to help us. And so you need to think to yourself, when you have this information, what am I going to do with it? And why do I want to say these kind of things? All right, guys, that's what I've got for you today. Next time, we're going to be continuing this conversation, and we've got some pretty cool stuff in store. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We love you. Bye.